When I started this project, I didn't think it would be that difficult. It literally took me down a rabbit hole, and you'll see why. Bye! It all started last year in my comments section. You guys always challenge me with the most creative ideas, and last year the topic was let's craft the most beloved character from one of the biggest box office hits of 2025. I'm going to build Judy 100% out of chocolate. No wood, no metal, everything has to hold using only chocolate. After doing a little bit of research, turns out she's about 3.5 feet tall. To make it perfectly proportional and scale it up, we're gonna have to measure every part of her body and do a little bit of math. Just like any piece, we're gonna start with the build. And we're gonna go from the bottom up, starting with the legs. One mistake and everything can collapse. So for the legs, I have three different options. Either I will start by casting pipes and then attach them together using melted chocolate. Or I could do a stencil of the perfect shape of the legs, cut, stack to create a strong lamination. The third option is using milk chocolate paste and shape it directly into the form of the legs. The problem with milk chocolate, it's not as solid as the dark chocolate. Ultimately, if I were to build it with milk, it would probably collapse. The option with the pipe is valuable, but because the ankles are so thin, I am very scared that it won't be enough to hold the entire weight of the body, and eventually collapse. The second option is the most time-consuming, but probably the safest because it will offer the most resistance. Let's go with this one. I make sure I keep everything proportionate, and I'm going to cut the shape. To make sure the piece is not too heavy, I'm also going to hollow the center of it. This will make the piece lighter and sturdier. Now that I cut the lamination, let's bring in the chocolate. We're gonna cut our stencil. Each lamination will have 3 slats. Now that we have our base, let's work on the feet. We're going to cast eggs. Now we can connect the egg to the leg. And to make sure it's strong enough, we're gonna add some milk chocolate paste. Our next step is going to soften our milk chocolate, transform the nice pistol into paste. It's gonna give us some kind of an edible Play-Doh. All we have to do is to spread it evenly and warm it up. And now the milk chocolate is soft, and I'm gonna use this to smooth out all the connection between the dark chocolate elements. I'm gonna blend everything using the milk chocolate paste and create the toes. What's gonna really bring the feet together and make them fun is to have rounded toes here. Exaggerated cartoon-like rounded toes. I love pushing in the details, so even if we're not gonna see the bottom, we're still gonna sculpt heavier toes. Time for us to cast our glute. We're gonna use a half-sphere silicone mold and fill it with tempered chocolate. Then I'm gonna take it, refrigerate it, and then unmold it. We're going to glue together those 2 half spheres. I'm gonna attach the glute to the legs to make sure they connect. Then I'm gonna use the milk chocolate paste to smooth everything together. We keep on polishing. We're gonna have to make sure we put enough weight in the front so that it doesn't fall backward. I'm adding a little bit of paste to blend both the leg and the glute together. Now that we've added volume with the milk chocolate, I can scrape everything to remove the excess. I'm melting the bottom of the paws to create a perfect flat surface and transferring it onto our silicone mat, and now it shouldn't wiggle anymore. Once the feet are set, they should peel off easily. Perfect. We're done with the legs, let's work on the torso. And for this, I was thinking of starting by casting a pot. Perfect. I'm going to cut the edge, then I'm gonna add the milk chocolate to create the top of the torso. Once we have the base of the torso, we can add it to our legs. I'm using a clay metal scraper to smooth everything, and we just adjust it right on top. I can then glue my torso. Now that we're done with the torso, we can start working on the arms. To cast the arms, we are using an acrylic pipe and a little bit of guitar sheet in the center. We're gonna use our temper chocolate and fill it gradually to make sure we don't trap any air bubbles. Now that we poured the chocolate into the pipe and it's fully set, we can pull it off. Then we're gonna cut both the upper arm and the forearm. I am extruding some of the paste to create the perfect socket for the arm to lock in position. Then I'm gonna add paste on it to create the muscle definition and the elbow. When this will be ready, we'll be able to glue it into the body. Then we're gonna create a little bit of a shoulder definition, a little bit of a triceps, sometimes just the tiniest bit of dimension brings life to the piece. We're gonna accentuate the elbow and do a slightly bigger forearm, finishing narrower for the wrist. Perfect. We're gonna be able to attach both arms and we're gonna give them a little bit of life. One arm, I'm imagining, will go a little bit like this, holding the carrot, and the other one will have a little bit of an attitude holding down the belt. So we're just using our soft paste and putting our arm in. And I anticipate that the hands will be somewhat here on the belt. I'm gonna use the milk chocolate paste to add the color of her shirt. Perfect. I like the body position and the proportion. It feels to me that it's sturdy enough, although it seemed to be wanting to tilt backward, so I'm hoping I will be able with the head to put some weight in the front. Next part, the head. We have a pipe, we have a sphere. We're gonna connect them together. I know it doesn't look like a head right now, but trust the process, bear with me. So once we added the rough cheeks and the forehead, I'm gonna use my sculpting tools and remove some of the excess and try to polish everything. We're gonna add the eyebrows. It kind of look weird at first. Now that we've made good progress on the head, I'm gonna cut it in two. So I'm going to cut the head off. We're gonna open the head. I'm going to put a sphere here. It's going to create the back of the throat. So later we can add the teeth, the tongue. And here I'm going to slide my fake eyes. And then I'm able to take the top of the head and the bottom and close it. Perfectly in position. Perfect. Now that the head is done, we can add the ears. I'm gonna measure everything to make sure we're still very proportionate. I think this should be about right. And then I can kind of fold it to give it more dimension, more life. Now I can take my ear stencil. I use a metal spike and trace around the stencil. I have just enough to cut my second ear. Perfect. I'm going to lift my ear and quickly fold the inside. Perfect. Let's try it. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna make strong attachment point here by scoring a little bit the base of the head, warming it with the blowtorch. And now we're gonna push Judy's here deep inside. Perfect. Now we're gonna have to let it set so the ears can by spraying. Let's is finished, it's time for our second challenge, making the best carrot cake in the world. But it also have to look like her iconic recording pen, and will have to fit inside the hand without breaking the arm. When I started working on the carrot cake, multiple options came to mind. Well, what is the best carrot cake? For me, it has to be a perfect blend of spices, carrot, and sweetness. But that's not all. You still have to use texture to bring everything to life. In order to build the carrot cake looking like her pencil, first we have to draw the shape. So my first thought was to start with the shape. Here is the stem, here is the tip. And for this one, I was thinking of making the carrot cake the top of the pen, making a pineapple compote in the center, and then a shell around of cheesecake mousse. But I figured that if someone were to bite it, they wouldn't get all the texture and all the flavor at the same time. So this was not the right approach. In order to make sure people would experience it well in every bite, I thought of layering the flavor and texture horizontally by doing the sponge, then the compote, then the mousse. Unfortunately, I don't have any mold in the shape of a carrot or anything oblong like this. So I thought of a third option that may be better, building everything like a target. This way, not only will resemble a carrot when we cut it, the person eating it will experience all the flavor and texture in every bite. The cut would look something like that. The compote, the sponge, then the mousse. And to make sure the carrot will be structurally sound, but also add some crunch, we're going to dip it to create a thin layer of orange chocolate. Not only will bring crunch, but also a structural element, making it possible to fit into Judy's hand and for me to attach all the detail, which are the clips, the stem, then the tip. Let's go with this option. Obviously, carrot cake, the main ingredient has to be carrot. So we're gonna start by peeling our carrots and then use a cheese grater to grate them. Next step, we're going to combine our eggs, our sugar, and we're gonna whip it. All right, we're combining our mix with our grated carrots. Smells delicious already. Look at this color. This is rich in carrots. Okay, we pour our carrot cake mix inside our baking mat and we're going to spread it evenly and then we're gonna take it away and bake it. Check this texture out. It's so fluffy. We're going to combine our pineapple puree, vanilla, and we're gonna add our diced pineapple, slow compote it, and this will go inside our cake. Now that the compote is cooked, I'm gonna place it inside a silicone mat Our sponge is fully cooled off. Now we can put our frozen insert and roll silicone mold, and I'm gonna cast just a little puck. We're gonna let them harden and then spray them to match the color of the carrot. All right, we're gonna make the leaf that goes on top of the carrot pen. We're using colored chocolate tempered. Laminate to the right thickness and then put it on a twill mold to have it get the perfect curve. All right, now that the stems are set, we can glue them to our base using tempered green chocolate. All right, we're very close. All we have to do left is to twist off the skewer, melt the top, using the liquid chocolate to glue our stem. Then we can focus on the clip. Perfect. And the final touch, of course, it's the little silver tip. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a pen. Look at this. How cool is this? All right, moment of truth. Does the carrot fit inside the hand? And is the arm strong enough to hold everything? It's a bit nerve-wracking. Yes, it's a good fit. This is 100% chocolate. And at the end of the day, everything is so thin, it can collapse at any time. Obviously, I had to make an extra one to taste it to make sure that this was the best carrot cake in the world. Let's try it. Wow, look at this. The pineapple blends perfectly with all the spices in the carrot. And what I love is you get a perfect ratio of each component. I love having a lot of sponge in the cake. This is definitely a carrot cake I would try again. This project turned out awesome. Let me know in the comment section below what you want to see next. Alright, we're just getting started here. Be sure to watch the next video to see another amazing creation. Bye!